Hi, folks. Please read the disclaimer. Very interesting discussion today about three mental habits to escape middle class. Now, I'm not trying to demean the middle class by saying that, but this is an entrapment that exists. I also come from a uh, middle class family. My dad was working in the central government, and we never had that kind of escape from that thought process as to how to grow big, how to really evolve out of that constricted uh, situation. So I'm going to talk about three mental habits. This is also coming from my own personal experience, and I hope some of you will be able to take some clue out of this discussion. So when we dream about financial prosperity, the journey of building this wealth that we want to do, it is not just about how much you are earning, but how you start thinking about money. So, for instance, there could be a lot of people who earn much more, let's say two sets of people, A and B, both are earning, let's say, X amount of money. A is growing very rapidly and B is stagnating. That is certainly very possible. It is also possible, and this is my sort of experience that I've seen. There may be a set of people who are earning much more, but who are not really able to create wealth. So our approach towards wealth building needs to be that approach needs to be right. The amount, the absolute amount, is perhaps not so important, not in terms of our approach. So the power of your financial psychology and the mental patterns that we create around how we should think about money and not just sort of circumstances. So we will explore some of these psychological shifts. So one of the key sort of shift that can happen is scarcity versus abundance mindset. And these, I can tell you with my own journey, these are not just buzzwords, or or these mental models are not just theoretical. They actually make a difference. Where if you are thinking of scarcity and you get trapped into that thoughts of scarcity, you are never able to come out of it. And a person who is thinking about abundance and is looking forward to some growth, perhaps taking on some more risks as well, is able to sometimes go beyond that. So core idea being that a scarcity mindset continues to focus on immediate threats and limitations. So immediately, what is my issue? What are my short term issues that I'm facing? What are my problems? What are my threats? So when we start thinking about smaller things, obviously it will lead to our being short sighted, because our entire focus emphasis will remain on solving those short term issues. So if uh, perhaps a person is struggling with some, let's say, some small issue in his workplace, maybe there's an issue with the boss. Let's take this example. So if you are continuously struggling with that, you will stay stuck in that. But another person could perhaps think that, why should I not look out for other opportunities? I'm not able to gel with this person. My career growth is going to be stunted if I stay here for too long. Let me just upskill myself and move away. So it's a very different sort of approach where you identify the problem, but then you start thinking bigger than the problem, where you're saying, okay, this problem is there, I understand it, and I can't solve it because it is not in my hand. So let me move to a larger sort of view of my problem and see what other options I can have. So that is sort of the abundance mindset or the growth mindset that expands cognitive capacity and seeks solutions and possibilities. Instead of just, you know, ramming yourself against a problem, you are trying to seek solutions to solve a problem. A small example also is given here in the presentation of scarcity, that a small kirana shop owner in a mohalla is facing tough competition, And he may say that I have limited daily sales and hence I cannot afford any marketing or modernizing, and leading to further struggle basically. So this remains stagnant, does not really grow. And the short term approaches take high interest loans from informal sources for immediate needs, and you are stuck in a perpetual financial sort of credit cycle. Now, instead, they may start to ask, how can I expand my reach? Perhaps I'll accept digital payments, perhaps home deliveries in a small radius, or else, stock unique products not available at supermarkets. That is now thinking a bit out of the box, not constraining yourself with your current limitations, but having that growth or that new possibility mindset. So the key action here is that to ask what possibilities does this create, rather than why is this happening to me, I am stuck with this. So I hope you can appreciate the difference in the two approaches, and that works not just in financial portfolios. We are taking financial portfolio because that is our subject, but it works with every action in your life actually, every relationship action, every commercial action, anything that you do, you can apply this approach. Let go of this thought process. Why is this happening to me? As soon as you let go of that, your opportunities will open. The second mental model is to focus on leverage and not just effort. Like they say, the more you work hard, the more success you will get. So, if everybody who's working hard in terms of effort, if everybody's doing that, even the person who's doing daily wages is also working very, very hard. And a person who is at the helm of a IT company is also working very, very hard. So working hard is not enough. Working on leverage is something that you need to work on. So the core idea is that we have this thing in our sort of a trap in our mind, that time for money trap, that which is a linear sort of scale where you say I'll exchange my time for money. So what have you done? You have created a contract where you are saying I will provide my effort and time, and I will get money for that. That is fine, there is no issue in that. The problem is that we have finite time. We only have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, maybe a little more if Mr. Narayan Murthy wants, but that's the time that we have to give. So at some point, if you have given your entire time like a daily wages laborer does, and the rate of daily wages is set, so he can't leverage anymore now. If he's working for 40 rupees an hour or 50 rupees an hour, and he has 10 hours to give, then the 500 is the max limit now. Whenever the market will go from 50 rupees to 55 rupees, the poor man will earn more. So this linearity of time for money trap actually is the reason where people will remain stuck. Whereas those who are on the growth path are going to leverage their time, where you know you're not just doing one thing, you're doing multiple things. You are creating multiple income streams. You are upgrading yourself. You are creating knowledge base. You are leveraging your network. Now if I know 100 individuals, and my friend offers some service, I can always offer him some kind of a setup where I'll get the clients for him and he pays me for that. I'm just giving you an example. That's leveraging something that you have. Or somebody may be sitting in a location where somebody else wants an individual to be there, just to be there, to be a representative, not too much of work, but just to be there. Like you have country representatives, for instance. Like there is a company in Finland, small some companies there who wants to have representation in India, but doesn't want to set up an office here. So they can always have a tie up with a person here that, okay, whenever there is work, we will use your time and we'll give you some kind of a retail. So these kind of, I'm just giving very simple examples where you are leveraging your time, you are leveraging your knowledge. Like what am I doing talking to you over YouTube or Twitter? I am leveraging my knowledge. I am trying to spread knowledge through this media, right? The If I were to do this, let's say I was a individual advisor, okay, and I have to deal with clients on a one-on-one basis, then obviously I have limitation, right? I mean, I can deal with, let's say, half an hour. I need to talk to a client, pursue them, for business, explain them strategies, make sure that they come and on board. Maybe let's say it takes 1 hour for this, and if I have 8 hours, I can only do 8 clients in a day. So that's where my sort of time for money trap comes here. When you're doing one to many kind of a thing, then there is no limit. I mean, whether there are 8 people or 80 people, everybody can leverage on that time. So in this example, the presentation says a freelance graphics trainer designer in India solely takes on client projects on per project on hourly basis. Their income is directly tied to the hours they can physically work. The same designer, when he's leveraged after building expertise, creates pre-designed templates. So you can say that this is equivalent to our small cases, that we have pre-designed small cases where I'm not customizing for any single person. But the same small case can now be used by 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, right? And the platform can leverage that kind of a knowledge base. So this allows them to earn without constant linear effort with each individual. So that multiplies the income potential. So the key action here is, how can I work more hours? That was your initial thought process, to how can I make my existing efforts produce greater return. So you are, if you've actually studied physics, you know what leverage, how you can use force and leverage to get better outcomes. Uh, so the idea is that you have limited hours. Everybody has limited hours. How can I make the most of that for greater returns? The third idea, which I'm sure all of us who are watching are very well aware of, your income can grow, and stop viewing money as a fixed entity. So, what does this mean? That a fixed mindset about income creates self-fulfilling prophecies, limiting growth. So you could have a fixation about uh, uh, that I am working 8 hours, I'm getting so much income, and that's the end of it. I mean, that money is not working for you. A growth mindset will recognize that earning potential can be expanded through learning, skill development, networking, strategic career moves, and so on and so forth. And you can multiply on that income stream also. So, fixed mindset is like a government employee or a teacher might believe that their income is limited by their salary scale and periodic increments. They might not explore opportunities to learn new digital skills, of offer online tutoring service in their spare time, assuming their earning capacity is static. So just not even thinking that how I can earn more by limiting yourself to your income, uh, sort of a horse blinder. Whereas in a growth mindset, let's say there's a IT professional in tier two city, and he's actively investing in learning new programming languages. I don't know if these are new anymore or not. Python and data science through online courses, attends webinars, uses LinkedIn to network, aiming for a promotion, higher paying job in faster growing sectors. So there is one very passive orientation towards your income, and one is very active orientation towards that income. So you have to invest in skill development, you have to invest in seeking mentorship, invest with small income generating projects, expand your professional network. I think this, and a lot of folks do that. I'm not saying many people don't do this, but I would still think a significant number of people don't do this. Once they get a job and they are comfortable in the job, they become like, you can say, in their comfort zone. And whenever you are in your comfort zone, you are not growing, because growth requires you to be uncomfortable. And I can tell you with my experience, I have been in comfort zone for long periods many times, and I've stagnated. Whenever I have stepped out of that comfort zone, pushed myself, whether it is not, and it is not just work, it could be, physical activity, exercise, whatever you may be doing, learning something new, whenever you will push yourself and do some incremental changes in terms of development, your output is comes out to be exponential. So that's where one can grow out of this. So conclusion here is that your mind is your richest asset. So we all very well know people who get lotteries and who are passed on with great inheritances also do not are able to sustain them for too long because their mind is not tuned towards growing that. Their mind is tuned towards consumption of that. So three mental habits: scarcity thinking, effort based assumptions, and fixed income beliefs are psychological barriers to wealth. By actively changing these thought patterns, you can dramatically improve your financial outcome as well. And one habit that you will choose, uh, you can choose, and which resonates mostly with you. You just focus on that and you know try to move that habit. So, out of any of these three, whichever ones you feel is more comfortable for you, just focus on it and move towards it. I think that's going to help you in your journey. Financial transformation begins in the mind. Start today. Your future crorepati self will thank you. So, uh, while people are very fascinated with the crorepati thing, but I can tell you, once you get that rhythm right, and that growth mindset right, any amount of crorepati, I mean any amount of crores can be made. That is not the limiting factor. The limiting factor is here, how we look at our current situation, where we see ourselves going, and are we willing to come out of our comfort zone. So let me know how you like this content. While this is not directly related to stocks or the usual things that we talk about, but these are very, very essential personal traits that differentiate those who really succeed. And if you like these videos, you may also like this other video on your screen. Do give us a like or a share on this video, and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Bye bye.